You didn't lift anything heavy today. You didn't run anywhere. You sat, you typed, you sat in a meeting, you answered a few messages. And yet right now, you feel wiped out. Not a little tired. Wrecked. That's not weakness. That's your brain running on empty. Picture this. It's 7 p.m. Someone asks what you want for dinner, and you feel actual dread. Not because you're not hungry, because you cannot make one more choice today. You've already picked out clothes, replied to emails, decided which meeting to skip, chosen a lunch spot, answered "How are you" 9 different times. Now someone wants you to pick a restaurant and your brain just shuts the door. If that sounds familiar, stay with this video, because there's a name for what's happening to you and there's a fix. Here's the idea that changes everything. Willpower isn't a personality trait. It's not something you're born with or without. It works more like a phone battery. Every choice you make, even a tiny one, uses up a little bit of charge. Scientists call this decision fatigue, and there's one study that shows just how real it is. Back in 2011, researchers looked at more than 1,000 parole hearings in Israel. They wanted to know what actually decided whether a prisoner was granted parole. Was it how serious the crime was? Was it the strength of the case? Turns out the biggest factor was something nobody expected: the time of day. Prisoners who had their hearing early in the morning got parole around 65% of the time. Prisoners who had their hearing late in the day got parole less than 10% of the time. Same judges, same laws, same courtroom. The only thing that changed was how drained the judge's brain was by that point. And here's the key part. A tired brain doesn't become more careful. It becomes lazy. It reaches for the easiest, safest option. In a courtroom, that safest option is no. Now bring that back to your own day. You wake up with a full battery. Then one by one, you spend it. What to wear, what to eat, whether to check your phone before you're even out of bed, which way to drive, what to say in that one message you keep rereading. None of these feel like big decisions, but your brain doesn't care about big or small. It just counts them. By the time it's noon, you've already made hundreds of tiny withdrawals, and most of them were about things that didn't even matter. The scary part is, your brain never warns you when it's running low. It just quietly starts making worse choices, and you don't notice until you're standing in front of the fridge unable to decide on dinner. So your brain runs low by midday. That's step 1 of the problem. Here's step 2, and it's the part most people never connect to any of this. Have you ever opened a streaming app, scrolled for half an hour, picked nothing, and closed it feeling annoyed at yourself for wasting time? That's not a lazy habit. That's your brain hitting a wall. A psychologist named Barry Schwartz studied this and wrote a book about it called The Paradox of Choice. His point was simple, but it changes how you see almost every decision in your life. More options don't make you happier. They make decisions harder. Every extra choice is one more thing your brain has to weigh, and when your battery is already low, it just stops trying. It freezes, not because you're indecisive, because freezing is actually the logical move when you're out of fuel. Your brain is basically saying, I don't have enough energy left to compare 40 shows right now, so I'm picking none of them. This isn't just about what to watch tonight. It's the job offer you still haven't responded to. It's the message you've read 17 times but never answered. It's the side project you keep almost starting. The more choices sitting in front of you, the harder it feels to touch any of them. And a tired brain will avoid that discomfort however it can by scrolling, by "I'll do it tomorrow," by suddenly needing to reorganize a drawer instead. Then you feel guilty for stalling, which burns even more energy, which makes the next decision even harder to face. It's a loop, and it has nothing to do with being lazy or broken. You're not indecisive. You're overdrawn. So here's where this gets useful. You don't need more discipline. You don't need to try harder. You need to spend fewer decisions on things that don't matter, so you have more left for the things that do. 3 ways to do that, and you can start today. First, protect your first 2 to 4 hours. That's when your brain is at its sharpest, right after you wake up. Most people burn that window on email, on scrolling, on deciding what to make for breakfast. Instead, use it for the one decision or the one piece of work that actually matters most that day. Treat that early window like your most valuable hour, because it is. Second, remove decisions you don't need to make at all. This is why you've probably heard that certain well-known leaders wore almost the exact same outfit every single day. It wasn't about style. It was about refusing to spend brain power on something that changes nothing. You don't need a uniform, but you can pick one breakfast for weekdays, set your workout times in advance, and have a default answer ready for invitations you don't feel strongly about. Every choice you take off your plate is energy you get to keep for later. Third, when you feel yourself freezing over too many options, cut the list down to 2. Just 2. Your brain handles 2 choices easily. It's built for that, this or that, yes or no. The second you're comparing 5, 10, 20 options, you're back in that same trap, and your brain starts to shut down again. So the next time you're stuck, don't try to weigh every option. Pick your top 2, choose one and move on. Here's the thing worth remembering. Your brain isn't broken, and it was never built for the sheer number of choices modern life throws at it every single day. Someone living thousands of years ago made maybe a few dozen real decisions in a day. You've probably made more than that before you finished your coffee this morning. So the exhaustion you feel by evening isn't a personal failure. It's simple math. Protect your mornings. Cut out the decisions that don't matter and shrink your choices down to 2 whenever you feel stuck. Try it for 1 week and notice how different your afternoons feel. If this explains something you felt but never had words for, let me know in the comments what decision has been draining you the most lately. And if you want to understand your own brain a little better, the next video breaks down another habit that's quietly running your day without your permission. Subscribe so you don't miss it.